We incorporated a company called Demo Records. We signed, I don't know how many artists we had. We had Trick, You, Miranda, Shorty, I, Two G's. No,
Two
Two G's wasn't
G's.
part of, they wasn't part of that. They wasn't part of Mixed Flavor.
What about the guys from Glass
Oh,
City? What was
Catwoman.
Catwoman? Yep.
Yeah, and was Al doing something then?
O
No.
O2,
O2,
remember that?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Al was one of the Al was one of the producers on the Plaything, the first project I released under
so in
the
any event,
Go ahead.
you know, we put that all together, which was believe it or not, I realized, you know, I had so much energy back then. That's a big undertaking, man. It's undertake not knowing what you're doing, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was feeling my way through. That was a big undertaking. We undertook a lot, man. We did, man. We did a lot.
That was huge. Huge.
Yeah, I just really just dawned on me right now. That was a lot. We did a lot, man. For just the brothers who came together, you know, and you put what you knew in, I put what I knew in, and we mixed that shit up and we made a cake, man. We made a cake. So, you know, we were fighting to get our recognition in the city, and they had this thing called the San Diego Music Awards, and no black person ever won it. And you know, we've been nominated, and we went down to the place, and shoot, we was getting in there late, man. I'm walking down the thing, and I heard it said, winner of Best Hip Hop Award, Trick Music Award. In fact, you see it?
Oh wow, you still got it.
And that was the first one, and then he won another one, but that was for hip hop. I wanted one for R&B, and you worked that next. It took a couple of years. You worked the next 2 years. We did shows, we did release parties, we did everything, and finally, we got the one for you for Best R&B, and the year before that you should have won it, because I remember when we was at the San Diego State College, and the guy who won it had to come after you performed. He had to come on stage, and he said, "Damn, I may have got it, but it sure should have went to Harold." That's what he said. You killed it that night.
Good times for us.
But one of the things we had to do is, you know, back then you had to have distribution. There was no, you know, internet. You had to go to Tower Records warehouse, or, you know, somewhere at the mall. You had to buy a CD. That's what it was at that point in time. And so we had to have distribution, and nobody had a major label distribution in San Diego ever, not a black company anyways. And we ended up getting a distribution deal with Solar Records, which was Babyface, Sheila E., The Deal, The Whispers, Coolio,
Lakeside.
Yeah, we ended up getting Mr. with Dick Griffey, which was real cool in itself, because Mr. Griffey was a bad man. So we got a distribution deal with Solar Records, and then
hey, I remember a situation. I don't know if you remember this. The first big meeting we had at Solar.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
I know exactly what happened.
And we were all in the room. You go ahead and tell it. You go ahead and tell it. I'll let you tell it.
So to give you an idea if you've ever seen the Five Heartbeats, Dick Griffey was Big Red. And so that was character was made after. So we're in the meeting, I'm talking, you know, deal, and I'm trying to be big time record negotiator with probably one of the shrewdest men ever been in the business. He put the deal together for Dr. Dre and for Suge Knight with Interscope. That's how bad he was. But he liked me. Anyways, so I said, Mr. Griffey, I'm Arthur Mitchell, president of Demo Records, and this is my artist. Harold Wedding. And he said, motherfucker, don't ever bring an artist to a business meeting again. You told Harold, get out of my office. And you, don't you ever in life bring an artist into a business meeting again. And
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it either. And I never been in a business meeting and called myself an artist again after that meeting. It was a strong lesson.
Yeah, me too.
I still got the information that came out of the meeting, but it was secondhand. It wasn't firsthand. So that's how I looked at it.
I understand why he said that though. Now, it all makes sense. And then from there, we just kept doing what we were doing, and then we started going to conferences, music conferences and stuff, to learn as much as we could. I think one of the reasons that we were able to hang and stay afloat, maybe not be, synonymous as Capitol Records or some of the others that come along, but we were like a second tier. We could maintain and be respected. They respected us. We just
so do you owe a lot of that to the knowledge that we gained by going to these particular conferences that we used to attend? Because that kind of became our staple. We spent a lot of time learning in the phase of it. So give me that phase of how you felt about that.
I think that one of the biggest problems with entertainment and people, and this hasn't changed with musicians and artists, is that they like to do the art, but they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn. They don't want to study. They want to be a doctor without going to med school. And so and that's okay, because you got to keep the creative side going. But somebody in the company has to stamp on the books. You can't have no fun. Remember, there was many a night you guys went out and party, and I didn't go to bed and say, I got to get up and be at the meeting in the morning. Now, y'all can hang out till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, come and sleep till noon. But I had to be at the meeting in the morning. So, and sometimes I think they get too caught up in the glitz and the glitter, because it looks a lot easier than it is. That's the one thing I always say. A lot of times people go into music because it looks easy. Because you can sit up here, look at TV and see a dude doing some crazy shit and say, I do that. And I try to be objective. And I used to be really, I could be real subjective and real negative. But, as I've had time, as I've retired and had time to myself to reflect on a whole bunch of situations, it's no big, we calling it bull, but my mother and father couldn't understand. We want the funk, give us the funk. That was bull to them. So
I agree.
So, shit.
It's not, and it's not to judge. I mean, I think that every era there's an audience for that particular vibe of music, and whether we consider it elevating or de-elevating. In our mindset, I believe that because of the lack of art in school, there has been a lack of people being able to be respected in the arts when it comes to being able to know how to play the instrument, knowing the difference between a C sharp and an A flat. But now they don't have to know that. All they can do is rely on an app, or they can go to a website and pull a song off that somebody else did. So it changes. So, I mean, not to say that it's any worse, it's just a different format that they move now.
I really want to skip to what I think was the biggest part of the transition, and that was you. You see, you were ahead of the curve, and you made me get ahead of the curve. When you got into the digital realm and the internet, you realized, you made us the first Black company to have an internet radio station in the United States of America. We had an internet radio station in 1994. When people were saying, man, what y'all doing? That's some crazy. Ain't nobody gonna listen to that shit. Now the same program directors is begging you to teach them how to make one. And you kept up on all the digital stuff that we needed, and you taught me and you fought with me and you made me learn. And if you hadn't been in that's what kept us. You were ahead of the curve on what was coming, what was new, what was innovative. And you would tell me, and you'd make me sit down and listen. And with knowledge that you would give me, then I can take it and extrapolate it and do what I do with it and make it work for us. But you would be studying and telling me, okay, this is what's coming up. This is what you told me in 1996 music was gonna be free.
Say that.
You out of your mind, and you out of your mind, music ain't gonna be free. You said music will be free.
After we left the Solar Records deal, we started on our own doing our own independent project. Okay, underground level distribution. We came to me and you said, hey, we need to raise some money for to put your record out. And I'm like, well, why are you telling me? I'm the artist. I don't need it. He was like, no, I need your help. You said, we're gonna write a book. And I'm like, I ain't writing no book. You remember I went through all that with you. And so you say, no, we're gonna write a book, but we're not gonna write it. So you tell that story. Go ahead from there.
Okay. No, I said we're gonna write a book and we're gonna call it Music for Fun and Profit. And we're gonna sell it in Barnes and Noble and Beat All and Walden. And we're gonna make Yamaha, Shure Brothers, Fender, and everything.